Welcome back to another video, guys. In today's video, we're going over all of the home budgeting advice that you find online, especially in short form content, because they want you to click and look at it like a monkey. Today, we're going to break down everything that you've seen there, and we're going to rank it from stuff that's going to put you in the face of financial ruin, down here in the financial danger zone, all the way up to the things that are going to be God tier, non-negotiable, the most essential advice that everybody needs if they're looking to buy a home. Starting with the home budgeting tactics, we have the 20% down payment. This is the golden standard for a down payment in real estate. You've heard it for generations now. Where does it actually rank? The reason you want 20% is because it helps you avoid primary mortgage insurance. It's essentially an extra payment every single month if your down payment is less than 20%. Not only that, since you have a higher down payment, you have a smaller loan. And with a smaller loan, your monthly payments in general are also reduced. When might you not want to use a 20% down payment? Let's say it's taking you forever to get to that 20% and you see that the housing market's going up year over year. You need a house now. You can get a 3.5%, a 5% mortgage, but it really only makes sense if your income is super stable and the payments work with your budget. Check it out with a professional. You'll be able to get all your info on a spreadsheet and learn what works best for you. Overall, excellent, highly recommended advice. Next, 2 to 5% of the home value that you're buying, save that as closing costs. This is God tier. You cannot buy a house without closing costs. Now, in certain cases, you can get the seller to pay for some or all of your closing costs, but by no means is that a guarantee. And if that is the case, it probably means there's something wrong with the home that they're giving you credits for. And the credits can only be applied towards the closing costs. You can't get that just as a check. So save 2 to 5% of the home's value that you're purchasing as closing costs. God tier, non-negotiable. You absolutely need to do this. The best place to save is around 3%. Next, we have consider the starter home first. This is really important for people who are on their own come up journey. A lot of people, first-time home buyers who are buying homes in this market today, they're getting help from parents, the rich uncle, whatever. But if that's not the case for you, it's really wise to consider a starter home first, especially because it's going to teach you about how to just manage home ownership in your own life. Whereas if you get this big house that works for your budget, but you've never owned a home before, the expenses, the maintenance, everything is bigger, it's more grandiose, and it can be more stressful. So consider a starter home first. I'd say it's really good, solid advice, but everybody has their own situation, and it's not like it's a blanket advice that can be given across the board. So take this one with a grain of salt. It's good, solid advice. This one is called the 28% rule. Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, which is your PITI, the payment that you're going to be making every single month on your house, is 28% or less than your gross income annually. It basically means that you have 72% of your income to spend on life. This is groceries, travel, food, school, extracurriculars, anything you want to do. You have all the money you need for it because you're only spending 28% of your income on your housing. This is excellent, highly recommended. Why is it not God tier? Some people can make do without it. It's not like it's a non-negotiable, but man, is it nice to have. Next is the 36 to 43% DTI rule. And this is actually more of a bank or lender guideline than it is as sound home budgeting advice. You need to have your DTI under 43% in order for the lender to even give you a loan on the house. Now, is it smart to have 43% DTI, which means your debt, your credit card payments, your student loans, your car payments, they add up to 43% of your income? It's probably not the best thing to do. It can get you in the house poor category, but you do need this as a bare minimum in order to purchase the house. So we're going to put it at good, solid advice. Bank said yes. This goes hand in hand with that 43% DTI rule. The bank is going to give you a maximum amount that they can lend you. Now, just because they say they could give you that much money does not mean that they are saying it is a good idea for you to take that much money from them. Be careful with how much the bank is allowing you to borrow. It can often be misleading and lead you to financial ruin. This is not good advice. It's overrated. It's quite misleading. Cosmetics over essentials. You can't really see it, but on the left is a picture of a brand new kitchen, and on the right is somebody holding a bucket under a leaking roof. This I see all the time. Flippers get away with it especially, so be careful if you're buying a flipped property. It basically means lipstick on a pig. A lot of people walk into a house and they really want to buy it. Oh, but that kitchen, so nice. Oh my God. And everybody else is looking at them like, look up at the water stains on the ceiling. Like, this is a bad buy. But a lot of people get blinded by this, and that's why flipped houses that actually have terrible bones will sell. This is something that you really got to watch out for. Financial danger zone. Do not get obsessed with the shiny objects. This one. Now, a lot of people will do zero research and they'll just be like, it's time for me to buy a home. They have the money. They're probably in good financial shape, but this is not a good idea. If you're not going to go to your friends, family, real estate agent, trusted professionals in the industry for advice, you better at least do some of your own research online before purchasing a house. It's crazy to me that these people still exist. And it's crazy also that these people will give advice to others saying, oh yeah, I just winged it. You have no clue what kind of problems they incur over time. They're the type of people that will probably not even mention those problems to you if they even address them. So be careful about this advice. It's definitely misleading. However, some people luck out and it works out. So it's misleading. It's sketch. Taking out a 0% APR credit card to pay for things in your house after you've already bought it. That way you can furnish your house and make it look nice. I shouldn't even have to say much about this. If you can't afford it, do not buy it. Just because you don't have to pay interest on the money you're borrowing for 12 months or something like that does not mean that you should do something like this unless you're trying to build your credit. So I would say it's super misleading to take out a 0% APR credit card. A lot of people get themselves into financial trouble because of it. It could even put you down here in the financial danger zone. I'd recommend not doing it. I'd recommend buying things secondhand, buying things from IKEA, getting your essentials at affordable prices. And if you want to make upgrades to your home, do it over time. Do not splurge with a 0% APR credit card. Go for a low down payment. Popular advice. You can buy a house at 3.5% down. Get in now. Take that debt on. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. The cases where it does work, I did mention it when I was talking about that 20% down payment. The cases when it does work is when you have very stable and high income and you want to keep your money in other assets as well. Do not take a low down payment if you do not think that you can keep this up with ease for the long haul. It's situational, it's okay, but it's not highly recommended advice. After you purchase your house, or even when you're shopping for your house, you might contact a contractor at some point to find out how much it costs to fix X thing in the property. This is something you should definitely do. Get multiple quotes. It can save your butt. Also, when you're getting multiple quotes, you're going to be meeting multiple contractors. You can see which ones you feel the most confident with rather than getting swindled into paying the first price to the first contractor that you meet. Excellent advice, highly recommended. Get multiple quotes for any project that you're going to be incurring on your property. DIY minor fixes. In a world where YouTube exists, ChatGPT exists, there's no reason that you can't go to the store and buy some quick spackle and fix pinholes in the wall, or go buy some weather stripping at the Home Depot and seal the drafty door. So there are things that you can do that avoid you paying hundreds of dollars to a handyman and takes less time when you just do it yourself. So it's good, solid advice to DIY the minor fixes. You can even DIY more serious things if you're handy and you have YouTube. Good, solid advice. Defer small issues. What would this even mean? This means stuff like getting your gutters cleaned, right? Like if you live in a pretty dry place and your gutters still allow water to flow through them, you don't have to get them cleaned every year. You can defer that. It's situational. It's okay. Obviously, an issue is an issue. You should take care of it at some point in time. Home value only goes up. Now, a lot of people, even in these TikTok videos, will say this is bad advice. I think this is good advice. At the end of the day, a property is an asset. It's an asset class. We live in the asset economy. Properties that peaked in 2007, 2008, that went down 50, 40% in value are now way higher than even their 2007 peaks. So these home values will go up over time. Inflation is not going away. Home values will go up. Is it the best place to store your money for the maximal return? You might get more from the stock market. Historically, you have. But the functionality of a house is something to consider. The pride of home ownership, the stability, these things are something to consider, that not only do you get an asset, but is that extra few percentage points that you'd get in the stock market really worth the peace of mind that you'd get if you own a house? Something to consider. Home values do go up. They may dip, but in the long haul, especially when you have a great location and a great property, this is good, solid advice. Furniture on credits. This goes with the 0% APR credit card thing. A lot of times you go to a furniture store and they say, no money down, pay over time. Eventually, you're going to have to pay for these things. Be careful if you're getting furniture on credit. Make sure that you can afford the payments. Make sure it works with your budget. It's not something that I personally would ever consider. And I think that if you really need furniture, like I said before, get secondhand, get IKEA, get something you can afford now, upgrade over time. It works, but it's a bit misleading. The next three, the home emergency fund, the future expense funds, or the sinking fund as some call it, and the 1 to 3% maintenance rule, these kind of all fall in the same category. And this is how they rank up in my opinion. God's here, excellent, highly recommended, and good solid advice. The home emergency fund is God's here because this basically means that at any given time, you have a fund with an amount that you feel comfortable with, be it $20,000 to $30,000. You fill that fund up and you just let it sit there. It could sit in a high yield savings account. It could sit wherever, but if whatever happens to your house happens, you got the money sitting there ready to go for it. You weren't planning on spending it on anything else. The future expense fund can be used hand in hand with the home emergency fund. Let's say you know the roof has another 10 years on it. You just had a roofing professional, do your inspection. It means that you basically take that 10 years, you take the price of a new roof, you divide it by 10, and then you divide it by 12, and whatever that is how much you're going to save every single month towards your new roof. That way in 10 years, you can replace the roof with the funds that you put in the roof bucket. Same goes for any major system in the house, HVAC, water heater. You can even use it for a new kitchen upgrade. You know that the kitchen's going to cost $60,000. Just start saving the money that you need monthly according to the timeline that you want it. And this is the 1 to 3% maintenance rule. It's good advice. It's solid advice, but it basically means to save 1 to 3% of your home's value every single year in order to just perform general maintenance on it. So if you do all these three things in conjunction, that's definitely God's here, but this is how they stack up in order of importance. Pay yourself first. Controversial advice. I first heard this from a guy named Ed Milet, and the second I heard it, I was like, let me try that out. I saved $500 from every single paycheck, and before I knew it, I fell in love with this budgeting strategy. Obviously, you have to be aware of how much you're spending every month. You can't have gigantic credit card bills. But when I knew in the back of my head that I wanted to save $500 from every paycheck, it prevented me from overspending in other areas of my life on trinkets and things that I really didn't care about and didn't need and didn't benefit me in my life in reality. If you have not tried it out, try it out, see how it works with your style. It could end up putting a lot of money in your pocket and saving you a lot of stress from feeling like you got no money. Track all monthly expenses. This is not for everybody. If you're anything like me, you know that it's hard to track your monthly expenses. Open up that statement every single month. What I like to do every once in a while, when I feel like my credit card bill is looking a little bit too lofty, I print out a statement and I go over it with a highlighter. And if there's any reoccurring subscriptions or things that I just don't really need in my life, I'll highlight them and I'll be aware of those. I'll cancel the subscriptions if I don't use them, or I'll be aware of, oh, I spent $100 at Chipotle last month. I should spend less the next month. Maybe I'll do a few more home cooked meals. So this is situational okay. It's really good if you can do it successfully, but very few people can. It's not necessary to buy a house. So I'm going to put it right there in situational okay. And then you have your tax and insurance budget. You're going to have to pay property taxes. You're going to have to pay property insurance. These things are non-negotiables. So why not budget for them? You know your yearly tax bill. Divide that by 12 and save for that every single month. You know your yearly insurance quote. Divide that by 12 and save for that every single month. That way, when you pay your taxes quarterly and you pay your insurance monthly, you know exactly where the money's coming from and you do not even have to worry about it. This is what it looks like to properly budget for buying a house. If you disagree with any of these, I'd love to hear your thoughts. But in reality, there's a lot of advice out there. Most new home buyers follow a lot of this advice, but there are certain tactics on this list that they are just winging. And they don't necessarily know the order of importance of each of these budgeting tactics. Follow this advice. Let me know how it goes when you're purchasing a house a year from now. If you want to buy a house in New Jersey, check out my website in the link down below. And if you want to sell a house in New Jersey, I'm partnered with njcomps.com. Simply enter your address and it's going to go to a real estate agent who's going to personally run the comps for you, pull your property tax record, and give you a very accurate range of how much your house could sell for. If you want to take things a step further, you can invite that agent into your property for a tour, and they will be able to give you an exact listing price to sell your property for top dollar. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I will catch you on the next one.